Hello Cancer friends, I'm Annie Botticelli and welcome to my Cancer September 2022 Astrology Top 5 Things to Know Horoscope Forecast. Definitely go to anniehelpsyou.com. You can find that link in the notes below the video or the podcast so that you can find all the free goodies I make for you each month. I do so much more than just monthly horoscope videos, and you can benefit from all of that by checking it out there. This is for you if Cancer is your sun sign, your rising sign, your moon sign, or any other placement of Cancer that you're watching for. What I'm going to talk about here is part of your astrological picture. And if you're a very late degree Cancer, so we'll say like July 15th through the rest of the sign or around 23 degrees through the rest of the sign, then I also suggest you additionally listen to my Leo reports because late Cancer friends will benefit from both the Cancer and Leo reports. Okay, so let's get right into the top 5 things to know that are most important for this September and beyond. The first top thing is that we have 6 trines this month. Trines are the most favorable aspect in all of astrology. And although our sweet and salty profile is about equal, so we've got about half of the connections in the stars, being sweet and harmonious, and half the connections being a little bit of a nuisance, speed bumpy kind of situation. 6 of those nice aspects are actually power mega positive aspects. And of those 6, 5 of them are in earth signs, which is really great news for you as a water sign because not only does that bring amazing chance for very practical manifestation, so financial security, emotional security, stability, we'll get into some other manifestations, but those kind of things, they also make a nice aspect for your placement because the air, the water and the earth flow together and speak the same language, okay? So you're getting the benefits from the actual trines and then you're getting the benefits from the additional kisses that those trines make to your placement, okay? So it's definitely something to celebrate. So let's break this down a little bit. The houses that are accentuated at this time have to do with, well, I'll tell you the signs and what's happening and I'll tell you the houses. Okay, so the Sun and Mercury and Venus are going to connect with Pluto, okay? And that's actually going to happen at 26 degrees. So everyone can get a kiss from this, but those of you who are in the late degree spectrum, so we'll say July 11th through the rest of the sign, the closer to like July 16th or 17th, the more you even get a kiss from all of this. But again, nobody's being left out here. Everybody has the chance for these possibilities. Pluto represents transformation and other people's resources or pooled resources. So the Sun, your vitality, your expression, okay? Mercury also having to do with your communication, your mobility. Venus having to do with love and romance and finances, mixing in a beautiful way with transformation, alchemy, and positive resources. That's all the potentials that can happen, and it's all in the earth sign, which, like I said, is very tangible, very practical. So you could see, something, a new device or a new car or something come to you. Now, in general, September is not my favorite month for making large purchases, but if someone's trying to give you something or offers you something and it's a deal you can't refuse, then, these are the types of things where there's some help, or maybe you won't make the purchase then. Maybe someone will promise to help you, like a relative, or you see that you get a bank loan comes through. There's some kind of support that's coming through, and whether the purchase actually happens then or not is not even the point. It's that you see that something you're needing help with is getting supported. Also, your house of deep intimacy and relationships. So going deeper into a relationship, going deeper into a financial relationship, getting some tax or debt relief, having something to do with getting something resolved within a relationship, or support from a relative or, a parent or somebody. And this is also accentuating your house of friendships and groups, and feeling connected. If you are a Cancer who's not been feeling very connected and kind of wanting to connect, the odds that you're going to have, meaningful connections with groups and your tribe, whether it's virtual or in person, is very much magnified. So, it looks like there's a lot of chances for very meaningful connections with other people. And if you've been feeling a little lost or a little bit isolated, then this can bring in some wonderful manifestations for you. Now there is also a Mars-Saturn trine at the end of the month. So all these trines basically take place between September 11th and the end of the month. So for 2/3 of the month, it's just kind of pretty much a constant influence of one of these trines. So that is super exciting. Now the other set of Earth trines has to do with the Sun and Venus and the planet Uranus. So this is love and beauty and money and self-esteem and finances, and your vitality and what you're putting out there in a beautiful angle, in a very tangible way with the Earth sign, with the sign of Uranus or the planet of Uranus bringing things suddenly, or innovative ideas or sudden breakthroughs. And all of those things are going to be in those areas of life that I've already listed for the Pluto trine. Everything's going to be in the exact same area. So you just have more added bonus of something coming in out of the blue as happy news in any of those areas. Now everyone will get the kiss from that, but those of you who are close to 18 degrees will get the biggest kiss. Okay, so this is, we'll say like 13 degrees through 23 degrees, the closer to 18 degrees, the bigger the kiss. So like July 13 or July 3rd or 4th through like July 13th or 14th, and the closer to around the 8th or 9th, the bigger the kiss from this one. All right, so lots to celebrate there. I wanted to start out right at the beginning with that very good news. The next very important top thing to know is that we are starting our eclipse season. Okay, so July and August, we sort of had a break, a reprieve from the intensity and the big changes that had come from the spring or fall for you all down under eclipses. And now we're starting to get into eclipse season. So although the next set of Taurus Scorpio eclipses are not until October and November, 4 to 6 weeks before the first eclipse in that series starts eclipse season, and that covers pretty much all of September. So the big news, the sudden clearing of karma and negative patterns, the stepping onto your highest expression path, your dharma, anything having to do with saying goodbye to things that you've wanted to release, saying hello to things you've wanted to manifest. But sometimes eclipses do bring unwelcome goodbyes and unwelcome hellos. It's all wrapped up in this very intense potential. But the good news for Cancer is that the Taurus Scorpio eclipse cycle is actually in a nice angle, at least for your Cancer placements. I can't see what else you have going on in your chart. Of course, our viewpoint from the general horoscope is limited because our charts are very complex. But from the layer we're looking at with your Cancer placement, it is friendly. This is a friendly set of eclipses. And in October and November reports, we'll go into more of what is going to get, what areas of life are going to be brought up at this time. But from the general astrology standpoint, our me versus we, individual finances versus shared finances, individual self-sufficiency versus, familial self-sufficiency, our resources and our individual resources and shared resources are basically storylines that are coming up there. So you might start to feel anxiety, foreboding, or you might start to feel excited anticipation, like something amazing is about to break through for you. And all of that will start in September, so that's why you have to know about it. It might interfere with your sleeping, create a little insomnia. You might need a little extra sleep, extra nutritional support just to kind of keep your nerves straight. And of course, Cancer is being so sensitive, you might have to just take a little bit extra time to yourself. You might be a little bit more overstimulated and affected by other people's energy during this season, September through even December. And if you're feeling that, then just honor it and you understand why, because the eclipse energy is really very strong. Okay, so that was point number 2. The next third top thing to know is that, let's see what we want to do here. All right, let's go into the retrogrades. So Mercury is going to be retrograde from September 10th through October 1st. The shadow period starts around August 21st, and the post-shadow period goes to the middle of October. So from the end of August to the middle of October, we are covered in the energy of Mercury retrograde. Plus, in September, in the early September, we have the pre-shadow transit for Mars retrograde. So I've been telling you this, it's going to happen, that June, July, and most of August is our last brilliant open period until spring or fall for you all down under in 2023. So we've got, if you're watching this early, then June, July, most of August, the tides are rolling out. It's the time to push. It's the time to force if necessary. It's the time to be gung-ho and, do everything and activate things and start things and your big moves, your big decisions, big trips, and and then September is going to start a time where things are going inwards and backwards, and you'll want to be starting to deal with things closer to your physical body. So if you kind of imagine being on the shore when the tides are going out in June, July, most of August, you're putting your message on a bottle, you're putting your boat out to sea so it can go effortlessly out with the tides. Then starting September, the tides are rolling in. So any message in a bottle, any boat, anything you put on those tides, they're going to roll back to you. Okay, so it's not September and on until we get to March is not really the best time for trying to launch things far and wide. You could be making plans behind the scenes, working towards something you're going to launch in the future, and that is actually excellent use of the energy, but it's really not, it's not about far and wide and planning in the future and trying to push out and force things, because the key word will be frustration. If you try to do that, that will be your little cue that you're getting off track. It's the time to deal with things right in front of you, and there will be things to deal with right in front of you. So I'll give you a few things that it is great to do during the retrogrades. If you want to have more information to really master these retrogrades, this is one of my areas of expertise. You can search for Annie Botticelli Mercury Retrograde. You can search for Annie Botticelli Mars Retrograde, and I've got extensive blogs and videos on both of these topics. You can also consult with my very comprehensive, beautiful, long hardcover book called Planetology: How to Align with the Natural Rhythms of the Universe, which you can walk in any major bookseller and get on the shelf in Mind, Body, Spirit, or you can order it online or get it at indie bookstores. But aligning with the natural rhythms is going to help you to be less frustrated, more joyful, and do less work for more outcome while making everything easier for yourself. All right, but some general things that September and beyond is good for are staycations, or you can do travel, but just know that flexible travel and last minute travel might be better than trying to plan something. Also, if you're trying to schedule a bunch of stuff in September, try to avoid that, because you're going to be erasing a lot of things out of your calendar. Things that seem set are going to fall into question. So it's better to just leave everything open as open as possible. First of all, to not give yourself a headache of having to reschedule and change everything. Second of all, because you'll leave room for last minute magic, which is one of my favorite outcomes of the retrogrades, that it does tend to bring in on those tides while you're on the beach something really cool, an opportunity for you to deal with or have or experience. And the more time you have open, the more you can say yes to those possibilities. Inner work, dealing with the patterns that are at play. The retrogrades are notorious for bringing things back up that were swept under the rug. Pattern, that same fight you've had with your partner, the argument you've had with your mom, whatever it is. If it's not resolved, it's fair game for Mercury to bring it back. It's fair game for Mars to bring it back. And so doing inner work can really help you to heal those things so that they don't have to keep coming up every retrograde. Working on future launches in the backdrop, experimenting with low stakes projects. It's totally fine for you to do new things during retrogrades. It's just not as well indicated to try to do something so big of a new thing like your life's work or a launch of something that you want to go far and wide. But you can experiment with certain things. You can do things meant to be short term. There's lots of good energy for new things. They're just kind of shorter term in nature for the most part. But it's fantastic for editing, revisiting. Writing is going to be particularly prominent at this time because the Mars energies will be in Gemini for a very extended period of time, and Gemini rules writing. So there'll be lots of chances for creating and writing and speaking and connecting with people, and for studying. So if you have to get educated to expand your work or to step deeper onto your highest expression, or for any other reason, learning and teaching and research is really, really great now. So you can really capitalize on that energy this month. Okay, so that was the fourth point. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now let's talk about the fourth point, which is the personal planets in the signs and what that means for Cancer. Okay, so we alluded to some of this before with the trines, but I'm going to go deeper into it. The Sun, then Venus, Mercury will retrograde all back into Virgo. Okay, so we've got a lot of energy of Virgo, which will give you lots of powers of perception, powers of organization, powers of productivity, powers of, persistence. So this is really a time to mop up some messes from things you might have done before. This is a time to knuckle down and get those things done that you've been avoiding. Again, closer to you. If you've been out here doing all this stuff and avoiding all this stuff right here, it's time to knuckle down and just get through it. So you're going to have a lot of opportunity to do that. And then it will help you with discipline, including getting back on track with your diet, getting back on track with your exercise, getting back on track with whatever other practices that you have, or, getting things situated for your health, things like that. All have really good energy with you getting back on track with the Virgo energies. Now, Mercury moving through Libra before it gets back into Virgo is going to bring very strong focus on relationships, questions about relationships, good things about relationships, maybe things you did with your partner in the past. You go back to doing those beautiful things, something fun that you tended to do. Maybe it will come back around again. It can also bring up old arguments, but it could bring a love from the past back to you, or a friendship from the past back to you. There's a strong energy of partnership and the past coming up in a very big way. And this is all very centered around home and family as well. So you might have a lot of those types of things go on. All right. Mars in Gemini is going to be rumping and bumping for a long period of time in your 12th house. So it might make you think more than usual. It might make you analyze more than usual. It might make your mind space a little bit more rowdy. So you might need a little bit more to stay grounded. And if you're not meditating already or doing something to master your mind, this is a fabulous opportunity to do that, because Mars is having a very long tour in there. So you can really excavate things that have been troubling you for a while, that were under the surface causing you trouble and interfering with your joy, and doing something about them. So that is a very exciting outcome. Now, the last thing, point number 5 that I want to talk about, has to do with the full moon in Pisces in the days around September 10th. Okay, so full moon in a fellow water sign means it's a trine for you all. So that's definitely something to celebrate. Now, full moons tend to bring fullness, completion, drama, fruition, manifestation. It's in a water sign, so it's probably going to be extra emotional, and it could bring water where it's not supposed to be, figuratively and literally. Okay, so if you're in a storm zone, be extra careful at this time. If you have some emotional things under cover, they're likely to be shaken off at this time. So, it's just a highly emotional thing, but it can be very inspiring. It can be very highly creative, and it can be very inspirational. So everyone will feel the goodies from this. But those of you, and actually, we'll talk about the area. No, I'll get to that. Okay, so those of you who are close to 17 degrees are going to feel this more strongly. So 12 degrees through 22 degrees, closer to 17, the bigger kiss you get from this placement. So that's going to be like July 2nd through July 12th, and the closer to around July 7th, the more you get a kiss from this full moon in Pisces in the days around September 10th. So fullness, completion, fruition, drama, manifestation, coming to your house of long distance, travel, immigration, languages, teaching, learning, publishing, writing, speaking, spiritual studies. So if you've got anything in those areas that have been pending, you could find a perfect education program for you or your child. You could get good news about a test that you took. You could make a breakthrough with a language. You could get an international business deal that comes through, something you worked on in the past that's coming through now. So anything in those areas can get some extra blessings at this time. Okay, so I've given you lots to work with to help you make the most of the energies this month, and to help you understand the energetic patterns at work and play. And if you'd like more resources, I've got all of these here. You can additionally go to the little more button, the little arrow underneath the bottom right of the video. Click on that, and all of the links that I'm giving you here will be clickable, right? So if you're looking for reading options, including a beautiful, very detailed 45-minute audio of your birth chart for $33 from my brilliant husband, you can find that at anniebclarity.com. You can go to anniehelpsyou.com, sign up for my free email newsletter. This is where you can access running a free birth chart. This is where you access my 28-day in-depth virtual coaching program called Shine for free. This is also where you'll find tons of blogs, and you get lots of other perks for being on my newsletter list. If you're looking for written horoscopes by me, always up a month early, you can go to cozybysweetstarlight.com. If you haven't seen this site, go to it. It is so beautiful. We've got, me and my team have lots of amazing astrology-inspired blogs and healthy living blogs. We've got hypnosis for all the signs. We've got healing frequencies for all the signs. I've got the written horoscopes that I write. We have yoga for all the signs. So it's just a very beautiful, comprehensive site. If you're looking for free courses on how to manifest money and wellness, you can go to lumlife.com, my school, Luminous Life Multiversity, LUMLIFE. You can also find my astrology education courses here, including my behemoth of a master course called Becoming a Professional Astrologer Mastery Course, which you can fully utilize even if you don't want to be a professional astrologer, but it certainly will get you up to the level where you could be and show you how to make your business a success. And payment plans are available there too. Now, I've also got 2 books out and more on the way. Planetology, How to Align with the Natural Rhythms of the Universe. You will find this on the bookshelves in all major booksellers, including all the Books A Million, all the Barnes & Nobles. It's right there on the shelf. Plus, you can get it on Amazon and through any independent bookseller. And you can find Radical Prayer on Amazon, and you can order it anywhere as well. So I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.